Everything that she does is so inspiring. Like, I always say to Abby, I'm like, I'm so happy I have you as a friend.
Oh,
And I
glory to
literally was
God.
saying to like my work colleagues, I said, if she didn't make me her friend, I would be her mentor, like mentee by force. Like
By force.
by force. So do you want to tell them a little bit about yourself?
Hi guys. So I am a property investor. I have a hair business. I also work on the side as well. I've been growing in my faith, doing this walking in straight and narrow. I've definitely gotten a lot closer to God during and after uni, and I was so blessed to meet Tay as well.
I do want to start off by touching on your faith first.
Yeah.
Personally, with me, I obviously became a Christian last year. I was raised as a Christian, but I never believed in Jesus. I believed in God, but I didn't know anything about the Bible. Okay. So it was only last year that I actually got an encounter with God, and that's the reason why I'm walking on this journey now. So I would consider myself not to be a baby Christian anymore. In the time frame, I've been a Christian for a lot less longer time than you have. Like, so would you speak about that?
I was just saying that I was brought up in church. So my dad is a pastor, so I was like pushed into church and ministry from quite a young age. I'd say that my faith really grew when I was the worship leader for my church. I was just singing because I just love singing and I loved God. I had no idea how God was going to transform my walk with him during that time, and like the spiritual giftings that he, revealed during that time was insane. And it made me realize that when you're ministering and when you're serving God, there's just something so beautiful about that serving that just opens so many spiritual doors for you. I went to uni, and uni had its trials for sure. And I wouldn't say like I had a moment, I didn't really have a moment where I stopped believing in God, or I didn't really have a moment where I lost my faith, but I certainly had really tough trials where I kind of lost myself, I think, at times. I feel like when I look back, I don't really recognize who that person was. Along the entire way, I always say, like, I really don't understand how people do this walk without God, because I don't know how.
My friend said that literally the other day as well.
Literally, like, I don't know how I would have made it out. I mean, not just the trial, but I mean, out of that person that I was, becoming, I don't know how I would have broken free from that person without God. I don't think all the therapy in the world would have changed my heart. And it's so funny how trials bring you closer to God. Like how it's, I mean, God, couldn't I just have learned another way? Like,
can you teach me in a kind manner?
In a kind manner, just speak to me softly. Like, I'm grateful for that time, and I never thought I'd get to a point where I could say that, but I'm really grateful, God, that you saw me through that, because who I am now, like, in those times, I used to look back to when I was younger, like, God, I just want to have faith like that, like when I was a kid again, and now I look back and I'm like, wow, like, that's not even the prayer anymore. It's like, God, I'm so grateful you've grown me beyond that point, like, I always just want to be better and like be more in you.
What would you say like helped you actually find God? Because I know as well that when you are on that path and you feel like you're drifting away from him, it's quite hard to come back to him and find him again. So like, what was it that pulled you back to back to God?
That's such a good question, because I feel like for me, it never really felt like I was away from God, because he was my lifeline. Even when I was lost, I would say, like, with full confidence, I definitely was away from myself. Like, I feel like I just lost my identity because of the certain things I'd gone through. I felt like I then started putting my identity in the people I surround myself with. Like,
heavy.
So heavy. I felt like I was becoming carbon copies of other people, because I no longer, because of the things I went through, I no longer liked myself.
Sorry, I don't even want to put you right now.
No,
but like,
go ahead, girl.
Literally, I remember, because like I said, I didn't find God until last year, but I remember there was a point where I didn't even feel like myself anymore. Like, I remember saying to my friend then, I remember saying to her that I don't even remember, like, I don't remember who I am. And especially, like, as well, because at the time I was going out, I was partying, I was always, it felt like every day I was drunk, basically. Like, even if I wasn't wilding, I was still never sober.
Yeah.
So then it really came to a point that when I was sober, I felt like I didn't even know my identity anymore. I didn't know who I was.
Yeah.
And that was something that used to always beat me up, the fact that I don't know my purpose. I don't know who I am. I don't know what I'm doing here. And like we just said as well, like going through that and not knowing God.
No. I don't even know, like is it even possible? I don't even know.
It's
like
dangerous, like
what?
very dangerous, and it can be the facts as well, like you're saying, like you're around these people and you start to feel like you're identifying yourself to these people.
Yes.
But you know deep down within yourself, this is nothing to do with me. Like this is not me.
Yes.
Yeah.
That is the conflict when you're in those moments and you're like, this doesn't even feel comfortable.
Yeah.
And I think that's why sometimes we run to, other things to help us feel more comfortable in those situations. But I can say wholeheartedly, like I was losing myself. I genuinely didn't really know who I was anymore. And it was such like a hard thing to admit because I think I understood that by admitting that. And this one thing about me that I will say, like, I will always strive to be better. Like I'm never satisfied with where I am.
That one.
Like I knew that admitting that to myself meant that there was gonna have to be a change. And I think that's why I found it so hard, because I understood that the people in my environment were my lifeline. And if I was going to have a change, I was going to have to be cut off. And I knew that. And I think that's why for so long, like, I tried to run away from it. And I was like, I'll just grow in other ways. I'll just keep going to church and I'll just, do you know what I mean? Like, I knew the problem.
Yeah.
But I was trying to take shortcuts to the solution because I felt like the solution was going to be way too like grievous for me. And then God said, honestly, I can't even say the point where it changed, but I can literally see just like one by one each idol that I had made in my life.
Boy.
Jesus. I said, literally,
I said, I didn't realize I was a sheep of the world.
Come on.
I said, I didn't know that I admired you so much.
So much.
I didn't know you had more significance in my life than my own self.
Bro. I
loved you more than I love myself.
Literally. And you can't even tell the start from the end. Like, I don't even know how it happened.
I feel like personally it comes from that insecurity. Even as well, like when we was having a certain conversation, like I don't mean to skip it, but we was having a conversation and you said like from young, you've always experienced princess treatment from your dad, right?
Yeah.
And a lot of people, aka myself, man, love my day, man. Shout out to you, Dad. But I wouldn't say I experienced princess treatment.
Okay.
Like, I wouldn't be able to sit here and be like, yeah, if I say to my dad, I want it, he gonna bring it to me. Like, I don't want to like be speaking down on my dad, but it just wasn't that relationship.
Yeah. Okay.
So even when it came down to like getting approval from other people, I would always try and seek that from the world. I would always, like, not just from my dad, but like from anyone around me. I just always try to seek that validation from people around me. And the way that I would do that is by the acts that I would do for them.
Yeah.
So it would be like, okay, you know what? Today's actually really helpful because she does this, this, and this for me. And if I'm not adding value to you, then that means that you don't love me.
Yeah.
But yours was like, even if you are or not doing anything, you are still my baby. Do you know what I mean? Even though like I know that I'm still like, but you know what I'm trying to say, that different type of relationship basically.
Yeah. But it's so important to talk about because like a lot of things stem from childhood and like having that different kind of relationship, it really affects the different ways of you like that you have insecurities.
Yeah.
Like I think for me, because I was so loved in the home, I expected that love outside the home as well.
Yeah.
Like, I think I went into the world and I was like, well, if I'm so loved and if I'm so great, like my mum says, like, then like, why would you treat me badly? Or like, why would you not, you know, want to be around me? But it's not the measure of man, it's the measure of God. Like the Bible's talking about how much more would your heavenly Father give you, you know? And I think I went into a bit of like, I ended up in really bad situations because I expected more from man, you know, and by man I mean humans, like friendships and relationships alike. And because I had that expectation, even when the mud was being thrown in my face, I still expected something good from them. And I think it was a really bad cycle for a while, like really bad. And because of my pursuit of expecting that love that I had put on them, you know, it meant that I couldn't break the cycles. And I tried, and I stayed in situations I shouldn't have stayed in. And then these people then became an idol in my life. The thing I understood, and this is the one thing we say, oh, I didn't know God. Like, no, I understood that God loved me and that I didn't have to work for it. But here I was on earth with people who I felt like I was working for their love, in terms of staying and taking bad treatment in order to see that love. And that's why they became an idol, because I knew I didn't have to work for God's love. Like, he was there, so that's fine. So no, I was working for yours. Do you know what I mean? I was trying. It was like I put it before God because I was putting so much work into them. And I don't have to put work into God. And it's like he almost became the back burner. So when God then took them from me, I was like, so what now? Like,
what do I do?
And it was like, and God's like, no, come to me. Like, it's okay. Like, you can come to me now. I think that those, like, I don't know what you'd even call those pains, but that like letting go pains took me for quite a while. Like, I suffered a lot. Like, it was really painful because it meant that I also had to face like other truths that I had kind of hidden.